Hello everybody, it's Star Raptor here. Welcome to my spoiler-free review of The Dark Tower. This is based off of the epic fantasy series written by Stephen King. I haven't ever read the book, so I went into this movie blind, not knowing a thing about the lore. So it stars Matthew McConaughey as well as Idris Elba, and this story revolves around a young boy who is on our present Earth, because the thing about the Dark Tower series is apparently there are parallel Earths, and we start off in our own world with this boy, and he has these kind of mental ties to this other world, things that are kind of calling him to go and explore, and right off the bat he is being pursued by agents of this bad type of organization, which we don't learn much about, and next thing you know he ends up with Idris Elba's character, who is the Gunslinger, and they go on this journey to try to stop the destruction of the Dark Tower, which is apparently the thing that is protecting the other world from getting enveloped in complete darkness. And so that is what I kind of understood from what this movie was about, because I'll be honest with you, this movie wasn't good, guys. I had high expectations, especially after watching some of those trailers where you see the Gunslinger Idris Elba just rocking that revolver. And, you know, I think it all goes right into the slow start. So the beginning of this movie really just, it lags. There's not a lot of action. They're trying to introduce you to this massive universe, which they do very poorly with, because this is based off of like 8 novels, and they're trying to squeeze it into this 90-minute movie, which is already short enough. Like, they couldn't have made it a little bit longer to kind of get into the lore a little bit more. So it feels like we never understand exactly, at least I never really comprehended what exactly we were doing. We were just following this kid around, going from thing to thing to thing, never really stopping to really explain the surroundings. There's not really much world building going on in this thing, and that's my main issue. And it didn't help that the acting was just very mediocre from like everybody. I mean, they weren't really given a lot to do. I mean, Matthew McConaughey kind of stood out to me. Idris Elba, you know, they just had this, especially the young boy actor, he just had this monotone kind of voice. There wasn't a lot of emotion in this movie. There's not a lot of high stakes. It doesn't really feel that grand and not much of a spectacle, because they're not building these characters enough for me to even really care about them. So, you know, by the end of the movie, I was just like, okay, this is it. So the CG wasn't really that good, because at this one moment there's this creature that we don't even know what the origins were. It just starts attacking everybody. So that was kind of dumb. And then finally the ending, the way it ends, it's just like, we needed more explanation for what the heck just happened. And it just kind of ends and you're like, okay. And well, that was kind of what I thought negatively about it. I would say the positives were the violence, the action with the Gunslinger. I mean, that's what I was going to pay to see in this movie, was somebody kick ass with these kind of weapons, and that definitely happens. Idris Elba is definitely a really good action star, and it also lends itself very nicely to this cool kind of Western vibe throughout the movie. So I did enjoy that quite a bit. With that being said, I'm going to score The Dark Tower a 5 out of 10. I was very disappointed by this one, guys. I had high hopes, and there are rumblings that there are creating a series to kind of go along with the prequel of what happened with Idris Elba's character as well as Matthew McConaughey's character. I think it might be a little bit too late, because if there's a general audience watching this thing and they're not understanding what's going on from the very first film, then why would they be invested to go check out the TV series? I mean, it might answer some questions, but I think they just got themselves off on the wrong foot already with this one. So that is what I thought of The Dark Tower, but now I want to know what you guys thought of it. So please let me know in that comment section below. Are you looking forward to it, which is also coming out this year based off of a Stephen King novel? I can't wait to check that one out. Also, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I have plenty of other content, including gaming, like a Destiny beta walkthrough. I also have Star Wars content, so make sure you check that out. Obviously, if you haven't noticed, I'm a bit of Star Wars fan, so I try to do the reviews on the novels and the comics as they come to me. And I have other movie reviews as well as TV related content, so make sure you subscribe to this channel if any of that sounds interesting to you. I'm Star Raptor. I want to thank you guys for stopping by the channel, and have a good day. Bye-bye. So, did you like the video? Then make sure you rate it a thumbs up, and if you did that, go over there, hit that star after head to subscribe to my channel. Doing so will keep you up to speed on all of my latest content, speaking of which you can see a couple of my recent uploads down below. I'm also on social media, so what are you waiting for? Let's start nerding out!